As my kids are growing up, they're seeing me get excited and celebrate people when they lose weight. Do you think that your career in the fitness industry had an impact on your daughter's disorder? So my daughter Sierra has been very transparent and public about the fact that she experienced, in my estimation, probably some ortho, especially when she was a senior in high school and going into like probably her first year out of the house at when she went to FITM. And certainly being in the health and fitness industry probably had an impact on her. You know, I'm going to ask her about that because I haven't. But she's been very open about it. She ran track competitively. And so I think so it's interesting. First of all, there's never one cause of disorder. I think it's really common for competitive athletes, I know this to be true, especially in any sport where if you weigh less, you're going to do better. Running, diving, gymnastics, ballet, horseback riding. Like, I mean, there's pretty much zero sports for women that you're going to do better if you weigh more. Like, unfortunately, ice skating, figure skating, I should say, cheer, like most of these things, I mean, unless you're a base or unless you are, I don't know, maybe in rugby, I don't know, but I think most sports, like coaches encourage their athletes to weigh less. And that certainly was true with her as an 800 runner. And I think that ED related behaviors started sweeping through her team. And I think the coaches didn't pick up on, personally, I think the coaches didn't pick up on that soon enough. Myself and a few other parents brought it to the coaches' attention, what we found out was going on. And I think they did their best, but I think, you know, a lot of times these coaches, they're young men and they don't even understand the impact of the comments that they're making to these young women, like the impact it's going to have on them. That's number one. But then back to me, right? So I'm in the health and fitness industry, and think about it, as my kids are growing up, they're seeing me get excited and celebrate people when they lose weight, which is one of the reasons why I never felt comfortable in the consumer fitness space. Because when I was in the fitness industry, like meaning I was a fitness instructor, teaching local classes, not on TV, and I was just working like one-on-one with people in personal training, etc. Weight loss never was the objective. It was something I didn't teach. It wasn't something I talked about. Weight loss is something that's central to consumer fitness, however. And so that was a really big shift for me. And now I'm kind of answering one of the other questions, which is, you know, why aren't you no longer in the fitness industry? I still consider myself a fitness person, but I have stepped out of the consumer fitness industry because it never was a good fit for me. You know, I remember when I got my first infomercial contract, meeting with the nutritionist on staff at the time, and he asked me, like, you know, so what is the diet you put people on? I'm like, none. And he's like, well, how do you get these before and after photos and people's results? I'm like, they just send them to me. They're just doing my workout. I'm not giving them any information with regard to like what to eat, etc. And they were like, oh, you know, for consumer fitness, we have to develop a diet because everybody wants a diet to go with your workout. I'm like, well, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a registered dietitian. I don't know how to design a diet. I don't know how to do that. And so they kind of designed one for me, and you know, that became like part of my program. And I'm just being honest about that. That's just how that worked. You know, and then my name was attached to it, but I didn't know anything about nutrition at that time. And I just signed off on it, you know. But so my point is this: once I got into the consumer fitness business, like everything is weight loss, right? Like that's what sells. And so when you show before and afters, you're showing people's before and after of their weight loss, not like how much stronger they look or how much healthier they are. It's like weight loss, pounds, everything. That's so important. And so you're constantly looking for those transformation stories, those before and after stories, because that's what sells. And it just was hard for me because I all my life had tried to stay away from that. I tried to stay away from dieting. Like I remember growing up, the women in my family, they didn't really talk about body image, but whenever they talked about dieting, it was like the next year we'd see them after they were off that diet and they'd gained the weight back and were much unhappier. So I'm like, dieting is a bad thing, right? Like, anyways, so I got into the consumer business. And so now we're like, once I was in it and the kids were young, I was constantly like, you know, going to events and they would come with me. And, you know, what happens is people come up to you and they're like, Chalene, oh my gosh, I lost 25 pounds doing, and you'd be like, oh, that's amazing. And I think about what impact it must have had on my kids to see me like go, wow, amazing, and like give this praise and congratulations to these people who were telling me about their weight loss. And you kind of have to do that, right? But I've always been very honest about this. When someone meets me and they say, I've lost X amount of weight because of you, I always say, you know, you have to say congratulations if they're really happy about it, but I don't know how that relates to, like, they did my workout, but I always think to myself, but you lost the weight. You did the work. I didn't do, you know, you did my workouts great, but like you did the work. And there's plenty of people who do the workouts and don't lose weight or whatever. Like, you did all the work is my point. And I'm always I don't feel ownership when someone says that's because of you. I just don't. I don't know why. But I do feel a great sense of pride and ownership when someone says, you know, I started a business because of you, or because of you, I learned how to grow my social media, or because, like, the things that I think have an impact on, like, who they are in their life and their opportunities is something I'm very proud of, but I don't know what it is. I guess maybe it's like I have this weird guilt, or it wasn't a healthy place for me. And when I say healthy place, like being in the consumer fitness industry, it just was, and I'm answering that question now because this is the question I get asked all the time, is how come you are no longer in the fitness industry? So I want you to first watch this video right here because it explains it in detail. And it's a long story, but generally speaking, I'll just say that I'm still a fitness professional. I still do workouts every day, including today. I still design workouts. I still do many private classes for people, but I just felt like the consumer fitness industry for me was something that it just wasn't healthy for me to be in that space. I'm very proud of the programs I created. I'm very proud of the fitness programs. I'm very, very proud of PIO and Turbo. I love those programs. I still stand behind them. PIO is still on TV right now. I think it's the most amazing workout. I think they're all amazing workouts. What I wasn't comfortable with is the constant talk about weight loss and people's body image and telling people, because that's what people want. People want to be told, tell me what to eat, tell me how many calories, tell me what exactly, you know, and I just wasn't comfortable with that anymore because I learned through the process of what you'll find in that video I just told you to watch. You know, I learned about, like, I lost my own health is what I should say. And I had to learn about nutrition and diet and health and understanding that there's so much more to health than what you can actually box up and sell, like sleep, reducing your stress, your relationships, intimacy, like all of these things, your environment, what you put on your skin, all of these things impact your health. It's not just a fitness routine and a diet program. And yeah, and also, I mean, the other thing is that it's consumer fitness that wasn't the right fit for me. But you know, people say like, are you anti-Beachbody? No, I love so many of the trainers are friends of mine, and I support the coaches who are doing it the right way. I'm not a fan of any network marketing organization that engages in, you know, some of the less unscrupulous behaviors. But I also think, because that was another question, is like, what is your position on network marketing organizations or MLMs? I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure, if you don't mind, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel, and then you can click the bell, and that will notify you when I upload a new video. I can do more videos like this. You know, I know I do a lot of interviews, etc. But tell me what kind of videos you'd like here on YouTube, and I'll do my best. I'll do my best. I promise you. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for hitting the like button and dropping me a comment below. I'll see you soon.